You guys having fun yet here today, man? The first ever Ohio Fan Fest. Yeah. The first panel ever at Ohio Fan Fest, isn't it?
Maybe the last.
So I'm pretty sure everybody knows who this guy is, right? Right. Yeah, Jake. Who doesn't know Jake the Snake? That's your first question at the Ohio Fan Fest panel.
I don't care. Really, I don't. I mean, I'm so grateful for my fans. You guys don't know it, but you helped me survive. For a lot of years, I had a lot of things going on in my head that were bad memories of earlier life. And if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have continued. Because I'm very ashamed of where I've been, and the things that have been done to me. And going out and getting in the ring and seeing people that really cared about me, you saved my life. Because, I'm not the only kid that had a rough get-go. But I'll tell you this, it does hurt you. And it leaves a lot of scars. And we need to take better care of our kids. Because there's a lot of people out there that just don't give a damn. Sick bastards out there besides me. But I'm sick of it.
Most days. Man, what have you been up to here lately, man? I know you got the AEW thing happened a couple years ago. Still hanging out in AEW.
Yeah. For as long as they'll have me.
As long as they're writing the checks, still.
Yeah, I love those guys. Tony Khan is so awesome. He's an unbelievable man. He's directly the opposite of Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah!
He's all about taking care of the guys. He actually loves us. And I know I freaked out the first time I seen a birthday cake in the back. I'm like, what the hell is this? And everybody starts singing happy birthday. I'm like, are you kidding me? Who sings happy birthday to a bunch of ugly son of bitches in the back, and gives you cake and tells you, I'm glad you're here, It blew me away, And then you see the effort they put into giving the best product for the fans. And it's incredible. It's incredible. The money he spends is paying off. Because we kind of kicked Vince's ass.
Yes, you did.
And that's a good thing because, you need competition in business. You work hard. If you've got it easy, it doesn't matter what you do, and you still have the fans there, then you get lackadaisical, you get lazy. And Tony Khan woke Vince up. So hopefully Vince will sell out somebody else that's good and will buy it.
Maybe Tony can buy
Now,
it.
coming from the golden era in the 90s and being in WWF, what is the difference in the locker room versus WWF versus AEW? What's the behind the scenes version of that like? How's that different for a talent?
Well, the talent, it's really fun to watch somebody that's just leaving Vince and coming to us. Because they come into the locker room and they look around like, man, this is set up.
I think somebody's ripping you.
Yeah, this ain't right. Y'all playing me, man. Y'all playing me. Because they don't realize working for Tony, there is no pressure. There is no demand. He wants you to go out there and give your best. But he doesn't take a whip and whip you with it. He doesn't threaten you. He just expects you to be a professional and go out and do your very best. And, you get a lot more treating people good than you do trying to bully them. And I know it usually takes the guys about 3 televisions before they start realizing that it's real. And it's pretty fun to watch. I remember when Big Show came, he's like, what the hell?
Might be interesting for him because of WCW and WWE.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But he couldn't believe the difference. And, it's an awesome thing. It really is.
Now, you got a new podcast.
Yeah, I got a podcast going. I'm doing some movies.
I didn't know about the movies. I thought we were friends.
Well, you're in that one porn with the donkey.
Yeah, in the gimp mask.
Sorry. Snakes alive. No, they're yeah, doing a couple of movies and
What are your movies you got coming?
I did Peanut Butter Falcon,
Which was awesome. Did you guys see Peanut Butter Falcon? Yeah, with Shia LaBeouf. It was awesome.
The jerk that mistreats the kid.
Yeah.
That was real hard for me to do.
I can't imagine how hard that must have been.
It was, man, because when I was a kid, my mom remarried and her husband, new husband, had a child that was, mentally challenged. And he had some issues and he did a lot of drooling and he ran funny and stuff. His arms would flail and his nose would run and it's just him. And he was such a sweetheart. And I know growing up as a kid, I'd see people laughing at him and pointing a finger, and yelling nasty words. Retarded is a word that should be struck from our dictionary. That's the ugliest word out there. I'd rather have an F-bomb than that.
Yeah.
Because it's not right. And I used to get really angry at people that would make fun of him. So now I'm doing this movie where they want me to treat a kid and call him that and just be really ugly to him and beat him up. And so I went to the kid, like, look, man, they want me to do this, and this to you today. They want me to call you these names that are really bad. He goes, oh, Jake, it's okay. And he came over and gave me a hug, which made it even worse. Because now I feel like a real piece of shit,
Yes, it was.
And afterwards, he came over and said, see, I told you, it's okay. And I'm like, man, no, it's not. Yeah, I did that, and I'm also getting ready to do a movie in China. Not in China.
Yeah.
China.
Yeah. Absolutely. You softball pitched the hell out of that.
All right. And the name of the movie is actually part of an interview I did on Ted DiBiase at WrestleMania 6. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Mount Everest.
Yes.
How did I guess that?
The Mug of Everest. That's the name of the movie. And it's a period piece where I play an asshole. That's going to be a stretch for me.
It's going to be a tough hour. How are you going to study for
I had
that?
to study for years to get this right. And I mistreat some Chinese people who came to America and were going to work on the railroad where they really got abused. It's from the 1880s. And I'm an old gunfighter, he gets hurt, I get shot, and then I capture these 4 Chinese and make them nurse me back to health. But during that process, I wound up falling in love with these people because they were so kind and so forgiving and so lovely. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited to do it. It's a real serious movie, and I like doing serious stuff that has meaning behind it. But, we got the podcast going. I don't know how many of you have heard the podcast. Yeah, well, you need to get your friends to listen to it, or I'm going to quit. No, we just need more people listening to it. We're just getting started, too, so we're having a lot of fun doing it.
Well, Conrad runs a hell of a show.
Yeah,
That guy's
he's awesome.
Yeah.
He is awesome.
How many podcasts he got now?
I think he's got 8 or 9.
Yeah. I mean, if that tells you if you get 8 or 9 podcasts, you probably know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, he's got a hell of a team behind him. I mean, it makes my job so easy. I just go in and just run my mouth, which is pretty easy to do.
I know a few people have asked, knowing that you were going to be here today. Talked to Nash recently, and I know it's still a pretty big soft spot for a lot of the guys, but a lot of people have offered their condolences and say, sorry about Scott.
Yeah.
That was a huge loss to the wrestling community. And how has that affected you? With the Resurrection movie.
Yeah, we've always spent a lot of time together, and got sober together. And
went Hall of Fame together.
Yeah, and Scott just, he couldn't hang on to it, and I don't judge anyone, because I don't know where you've been and what you've been through, so I don't have a right to judge you. I think there's a God above us that will take care of that. But watching Scott suffer wasn't fun. He was dealing with something that he just couldn't get out. And I understood that. But losing him left a hole in my heart, and I just moved back to Atlanta, and I'd hoped that I was going to be able to get with Scott and try to pull him up again. But I guess I needed to get there a little bit sooner, and I didn't. So I regret that. Scott Hall was a great wrestling talent, above all else. And I just hope he's comfortable now in his own skin. And he's got some good people to hang out with, Piper, Mr. Perfect, a few others.
Can you imagine the ribs up there right now?
Fuji.
Yeah. Well, tell them the Fuji story when you do your stand-up. Has anybody ever seen Jay do his stand-up show?
No.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I think we've had you through Ohio doing it.
I'm going to do it again. It's just, COVID came along and really screwed everything up for everybody. And the thought of having a lot of people in a small area just said, don't do that, Jay. The last thing I want is someone to get in. Unless I don't like him. Like Honk. I hope he gets the clap of his yap. Anyway.
Man, what's on the agenda for Jake? What's coming up here? Man? You got anything on the books other than the movies and hanging out in AEW?
Yeah, I do, but at this point in my life, man, I'm just kind of kicking back. I fell in love again, and what's really crazy is that I was married to this woman before, and we broke up 24 years ago when I wouldn't change my way of living. She was strong enough to make me leave because of my addictions, because she didn't want it around our children. It was the right thing to do. But that's probably the craziest thing about my sobriety that's come to me, is that her and I have reconnected, and the fire is hotter than it ever was, and it's really awesome, man. We just did a signing together, man, and it was great. The fans were appreciating her, and she was appreciating them, and I just got to sit back and watch, man. It's like a big love fest. But it's really good. Right now in my life, man, I'm not out chasing anything. I've got a toy that I'm playing with. It's
What kind of toy?
1965 Cadillac sedan DeVille convertible. It only has 45,000 miles on it. No dents, no scratches, no nothing. Okay? And I had to go through and fix everything. The hardest thing to fix was the air conditioning, because some rats had made a nest up in the vent. It was really hard to get out. But anyway, we got all that out. But during COVID, I was so bored, I put my thinking cap on, which is not good. And I decided I wanted to do something very special with that Cadillac. And the first thing I done was I spent $4,000 on a stereo system that you could probably have a concert through my car, you know. It's that loud, and it's unbelievable. You got so much room in the trunk, you know, you had big bass, you know, all that stuff back there. But that wasn't enough. And the only thing left to do was to change the horsepower in it. So I decided to have that engine removed. And a buddy of mine builds race car engines. So we went from 275 horsepower to over 600. It's going to be interesting. We're going to do a test to see how long the transmission lasts, because with that much horsepower, and that's a 1965 transmission, it's going to rip that shit up real quick. And we're having the color of the car changed. Right now it's maroon, and we're going candy apple red with the ghost snake going down the side, which would be pretty awesome, I think, you know, and just really tricking it out and having some fun with it. And my wife said, well, what are you going to do when it's finished? I said, babe, do you really want to know? She's like, yeah, it's going to be finished by your birthday, right? I said, my dream is to drive it on my birthday, which is May 30th. I want us both to get naked, put the top down, and drive as far as we can without getting pulled over. And that's kind of my dream thing. She said she'd like to see it, but doesn't want to be a part of it.
If you'd have told me at some point in my life, I would see a picture of Jake the Snake Roberts in a 60s candy apple red Cadillac with some bang in the trunk, rocking $400 Jordans. That's you get your street creds, kid.
My ex-wife bought these for me, and I was wearing them the other day, and I'm sitting in the restaurant, and this guy walks by me, he stops, I'm like, oh boy, another fan, he doesn't interrupt my meal. He's like, hey dude, I'm like, dude? He's like, yeah man, I'll give you $600 for those shoes. I said, do you know who I am? He goes, no. I'm like, hell, look out here. Son of a bitch. He just stopped because he knew me. Okay, they're ready. You know.
Do you think, Jake, with AEW, how WWE has, you know, the big pay-per-view, and now it's just a huge thing where, you know, WrestleMania is a week-long shenanigans.
Oh, it's too much.
It's so big now. Now it's 2 days, you know, of matches. Do you think that AEW is gonna, like, is that like a mission for AEW? Do you think
I
they have like a big thing like
I
that?
hope not. I hope not, because, man, I've been through that week-long thing. It's tough.
That's gotta be brutal.
You know, and I can only take so much bullshit before I say bullshit, you know? And I see that a lot, you know, I watch their show and I'm like, oh my God, get that guy out of the ring. You know, and sometimes I think we just throw stuff out there and call it wrestling. We should need to refine it a little bit and put the better parts out there, you know, and the guys that really know their art. And, it's becoming a lost art. It really is. And it's a shame. They forgot about what wrestling really was and what it should be. It should be the fight for right, evil, and good. You don't know who the good guy is anymore. You don't. You know, and everybody does the same shit. Yeah. You know, no psychology. No. I could preach all day long.
Now, running back in the day, you know, when you were running, you know, WrestleMania, WWE, back in the 80s, early 90s. I mean, I know this just from, you know, talking to you personally, but some of your favorite guys that you bounced around the ring with back then? I know you bring up Rude a lot, you bring up Steamboat a lot.
Yeah.
DiBiase.
Of course, it was a real honor to be in the ring with Andre the Giant. If somebody told me years ago when I started that I would someday wrestle Andre the Giant, I said, "You're full of shit, man. No way in hell I'm going to do that." Yet I did it. And I did it for 6 months straight every night. And it was quite a tough ride. I remember the night I tore my pectoral muscle in half. And I went down and I was in so much pain, I thought I broke my shoulder. I clotheslined him, but he didn't go down, he just went through me. And I went down, I thought I broke my shoulder, and I'm holding on to it. And what does he do? He reached out and grabbed my wrist and jerked me to my feet. When he did, I passed out from pain. When I woke up, he had me in the bear hug, and he was singing to me. That was scary as hell. You got a fucking giant singing to you, Jake. Is he going to eat you or have sex with you, you know? Hopefully, he'll eat me. But we continued to wrestle that night. And that day, in fact, it happened at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Philadelphia. And that night, we went to a little town outside Philly where this shit always warm town. I hated it. Somewhere in Pennsylvania. What's the name of that town, man? I'm having a brain fart. Don't worry about it. God, I can't remember the name of it. And I had to wrestle him again that night. And my chest had swelled out and it was black, you know, because there was so much blood in there. And the doctor said, "Yeah, you've torn your pec in half." I'm like, "Well, is that good?" You know? So I didn't even know I had a pec, you know. But I never took a day off. You know, I just kept going. And, so it was such an honor to be in the ring with him. You know? And of course, Alice Cooper being a part of my match. He didn't know me. Never mind. We won't talk about him. You know, just Rick Martel doing the blindfold. That was a hoot.
It's the easiest match ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, but we pulled it off. We made it happen. I've had so many people compliment on that match, saying, "Man, we were at home and we were screaming, 'No, go to the left, go to the left.'" I'm like, "You fucker, you should have screamed louder. I didn't hear you. You were at home, damn it. You should have went outside." But yeah, man. All great moments. You know. There's so many great moments in wrestling for me. One of my worst moments was, I think it was after WrestleMania 6. We went to England to wrestle. And we were in Manchester. There's a big stage. They got the curtains pulled. I'm standing behind the curtain, getting ready to go to the ring, man. My music's just about to start. Just at the start, this guy grabs my arm and said, "Excuse me, would you mind signing my child's autograph?" I'm like, "Get the fuck away, man. I'm fixing to go out here and kick some of you stupid son of a bitch." And the curtain starts to open and I shove it. I get back to the match and I find out that I just shoved Robert Plant. Are you fucking kidding me? Led Zeppelin. The singer from Led Zeppelin. I just told him to fuck off. Is he still here? No, they left. Oh shit. Yeah, that was a bad moment.
You want to take a couple Q&A questions, bud?
I'll give you guys 3 Q&A questions and I'm going to get back out there and sign. You get number 1.
Of all the new talent shot now, who stands out in your mind?
Kenny Omega, Brian, but he's been around for a long time. New talent. Oh, the kid, MJF, whatever.
Yeah.
I want to kill that bastard.
Same here.
He lives the gimmick. Like you see,
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys see it.
Yeah, I
He's
see
on
it.
social media and he's taking pictures with fans, like, you know, they're paying $100 for a photo op, and he's a dick. Just a dick.
He's a natural.
Yeah.
He really is. And then I look at guys Darby Allin, and I really am worried about him. I don't want him to cripple himself. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that's what he's going to do. Because he's small, his body gets tossed around and he takes a lot of chances that he shouldn't. Another guy that I like is the Cowboy. He's pretty good. And there's a few guys that are starting to make their marks, but there's room for more. What's your question, buddy? Yeah, you turning your head there. Yeah, you. What's your question? Is it time to go home? No, it's not your question. What's your name?
Logan? Logan.
Oh, Logan. How you doing, Logan? Good. Who's that guy next to you?
Liam?
Liam. I hate that name. Just kidding. One last question. Yes, sir.
For fellow wrestlers starting out, like, this new generation, what kind of advice would you give them?
Be sure the person teaching you knows what the hell they're doing. There's so many schools out there that have guys that don't know dick, you know, and they charge crazy amounts and they make you abuse yourself and you don't learn a damn thing. You know, you know, that'd be like asking a mechanic to do brain surgery on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've got to find a good school. That's the key thing, man. And it's not easy. Don't do it the way I did it, which I did the trial and error method. Yeah, I didn't know anything and I got in the ring anyway, so I suffered a lot. Guys, it's been a real pleasure having you here tonight. And thank you so much for coming. Hopefully one of you cheap pricks will come to my table and spend some money.